Good morning. Today is March the 17th, and I have a special treat for all of you who I am missing so much. I am at the Satilla Regional Library this morning, and today is St. Patrick's Day. So that is why Miss Reed is all decked out in green. So today I'm going to read the book, Lucky Old Leprechaun. And this book it is written and illustrated by Jana Dillon. Lucky old leprechaun. Some people say you can't catch a leprechaun nowadays. Well, you can, but you've got to be smart about it. Those tricky little creatures will try to befuddle your eyes, twirl your thoughts, and outwit your plans every time. On the eve of St. Patrick's Day, the O'Sullivan kids, Megan and Sean, were sent to stay with the old grand aunties, Auntie Mara, Auntie Bridget, and Auntie Kathleen. Sure, you might think Meg and Sean would hate spending St. Patrick's Day weekend with three very old ladies. Oh, but that's upside down thinking. All Meg and Sean had to say was please, and the dear aunties let them do whatever they wanted, just like that. Auntie, said Meg that day, we want to catch a leprechaun. A leprechaun, is it? Said Auntie Mora. One of those crabby little shoemakers? Asked Auntie Bridget. Leave him alone. Alone, said Auntie Kathleen. Who? Asked Sean. Sounds like they want to get in some trouble. The leprechaun in the garden, said Auntie Kathleen. He's been there since we were little girls, admitted Auntie Mora. We named him Lucky O Leprechaun, said Auntie Bridget. If we catch him, said Meg, he'll grant us a wish. And the stories he can tell us, cried Sean. True stories of long ago. People usually ask for their pot of gold, said Auntie Mora. But tricksters they are. You catch one by holding him in your sight. Blink once and he's gone. Forget about it, kids. Oh, please, begged Meg and Sean. Please, aunties. Oh, all right, sweeties, said the aunties together. You honey darlings. I think they're just giving in to him. What do you think? What did we just agree to? Asked Auntie Kathleen. They had to remind her, for of the three aunties, Kathleen had the poorest memories of the here and now, but as for the long gone, she could recall every detail. Remember, sisters, Lucky old Leprechaun always lived under one thorn bush or another. You'll need the shovels, kids. Once outside, Sean said, Okay, I'm ready. Where's the thorn bush? Now that was a problem. The auntie's yard was surrounded on all three sides by thorn bush hedges. Meg and Sean sighed and started digging. Looks like to me they're going to get in a lot of trouble digging a lot of holes looking for that leprechaun. At sunset, Auntie Kathleen called dinner, darlings. As Megan and Sean, sore and dirty, went into the house, they heard a little snort of laughter. Looks like you won't be capturing any leprechauns today, mocked a little Irish voice. The kids turned back, but no one could see. "Can we go out searching after dinner?" pleaded Meg as they ate. "The day belongs to people," said Auntie Mora. "The night to the others." "Please," begged Meg and Sean together. "Please, Auntie." "Oh, all right, lovey," said the aunties, smiling. "You sweethearts." This time, the kids used their brains, not their muscles. They slipped out the front door and tiptoed into the backyard. There, looking at the holes they had dug, was a wee man in green. He had his hands on his hips, and he was muttering to himself. "We see you, Mr. Old Leprechaun," cried Meg. The little fellow whirled around. "Why, it's two wee children and sweet Auntie Bridget," said himself. "How are you doing, Bridget, my darling?" The kids turned to see. No Auntie Bridget. They turned back. "Gone!" cried Sean. "Tricked! I bet he's laughing at us." And indeed they did hear snickering. I wonder why that leprechaun is tricking them. What do you think? I bet he doesn't want to be seen. The kids trudged back to the house. Sean stood in the doorway and shouted over and over for Meg to come back out. But in truth, Meg wasn't there. She'd crept out the front door and into the backyard, and Sean, the rogue, knew it. There was Lucky Old Leprechaun. "How are you?" laughing as he listened to Sean. "I see you, Mr. Old Leprechaun," chatted Meg. "You again," cried Lucky Old Leprechaun, stamping his foot angrily. Sean came running. "We'll let you go if you give—" "What, Meg? What do we want? His pot of gold?" "But is that really what we want? Quick, Meg, what?" "I don't know," wailed Meg. "I guess so. I guess that pot of gold." "Granted," said Lucky Old Leprechaun easily. He took a candle from his pocket and lighted it. "I'll just put my candle down to mark the spot. See? And on my honor, I won't move it while you get your shovels. Is that good enough?" "Well, yes," said Meg, surprised by how easy it was. They raced into the garage for their shovels, but when they came out, the entire backyard was aglow with wee candles melting in the grass. "He tricked us again. We'll never find the spot. Oh no, look at all those candles. So many candles. How will they ever find the spot?" Wow. In the warm circle of light at the table, Meg and Sean joined the grand aunties for tea and Irish bread. The old dear's usual bedtime snack, you know. "Sean and I have a plan to outwit that leprechaun," said Meg. "How in heaven's name are you going to do that?" asked Auntie Mora. "With your help, Auntie," said the kids. "Please, please." I think these kids are used to getting what they want. Let's see. The trap to trick the leprechaun to his home. The trap to track the leprechaun to his home was set up as fine as you please on the kitchen floor. Auntie Mora poured a drop of tea in a wee doll's cup and placed a bit of Irish bread on a tiny dish. Auntie Bridget let the kids put her old step dancing shoes of the finest leather near the snack. And he, being a cobbler, she said, giggling, "How can he resist?" Auntie Kathleen added a $5 gold piece that had lain hidden from thieves in her underwear drawer for 70 years and placed it by the teacup. Last, they poured gooey, shamrock green frosting in a circle around the trap. There's the shoe and the gooey green frosting. I wonder how good of a trap this is going to be. St. Patrick's Day morn, the kids leaped out of bed and raced downstairs. Auntie Mora and Auntie Bridget were staring at the trap. It was himself, crowed Auntie Mora. The little Manny was here. Indeed, the gold coin was gone. The food was eaten. Glory be, the little devil caught a piece of leather from my shoe, cried Auntie Bridget with delight. It worked, shouted Sean. Look, there are tiny frosting footprints leading to the back door. Come on, let's follow them. They opened the hall door to find Auntie Kathleen on her hands and knees, scrubbing the floor. There was frosting all over the floor, she said, but don't worry, I've cleaned it up bright and shiny again. Musha, you didn't, cried Auntie Mora. Look at the mess he made. Can you imagine a leprechaun leaving that big of a mess? I know I wouldn't want to have to clean up that mess. But Meg and Sean ran past Auntie Kathleen and out the door. The green footprints began again and led to a hole in the ground under a thorn bush. But how do we get him to come out? Whispered Sean. Auntie Bridget removed one of her gold earrings. Put it outside his door, dearie, and hide. Sure, and it didn't take long before the little miser came out with his eyes aglow, staring at the gold. We see you, lucky old leprechaun, shouted Meg, pouncing on him. A fine how do you do, cried the little cobbler. Bring the wee fellow inside, squealed Auntie Kathleen. And there he is. Look at that leprechaun. Lucky old leprechaun saw he was in a tight spot. If it's all the same to you, my fine Colleen Meg, he said in a voice laden with blarney, I'm not interested in talking to anyone, including that sport Sean inside you or even that trinity of gold girls, your aunties. So I'll be on my way, begging your pardon, so ta-ta, see you some other time. Meg didn't answer. She marched into the house and placed him on the table. Ask for his pot of gold, warned Auntie Mara, before he tricks you again. First, we want to ask questions, asked Sean. Like, how old are you? Nosy child, griped the shoemaker. You're every bit as nosy as your great-great-grandfather Kevin back in Ireland, who was always sneaking up on me and asking questions. But you're not half as bad as your relative Nosy Deidre, the one who married the Viking back 1,000 years ago. Do you think they should have asked him for his gold already? Maybe. I don't know. That surely was the advice of the auntie, wasn't it? Do you know all our relatives then, all the way back? Asked Meg. Too well, snapped the leprechaun. Enough said. How did you get to America? Asked Sean. Wouldn't you like to know? Said the little man. Tell us about the little people, said Meg. It's a long story, and I haven't got the time to chat, said lucky old leprechaun stubbornly. I'm not answering another nosy question. Meg and Sean whispered into each other's ears and nodded. We have our wish, said Meg. Well, demanded the leprechaun. He hugged Auntie Bridget's gold earring tightly to his chest. Well, what is it? The aunties leaned forward to hear. Our wish, said Meg, is that you come back to us every St. Patrick's Day and answer all of our questions. No gold? asked the little miser, truly shocked. With gold, we can only buy things that anyone could buy, said Meg. It would soon be gone. But hardly anyone in the world has a leprechaun to talk to. Agreed, shouted Lucky Leprechaun. I'll do it. I wonder how it would be. I bet it would be fun to have a lucky leprechaun all to yourself every St. Patrick's Day to ask questions. That would be fun. See you next year, called Meg as the leprechaun leaped off the table. On St. Patrick's Day, Lucky Old Leprechaun shouted. Top of the morning to you all, and the rest of the day to yourself, piped Sean in true St. Patty's Day style. The end. I hope you enjoyed that book. I am so sad that I can't be with you right now, but I want to share something else with you. Behind me is lots and lots and lots and lots of books. I'm going to kind of pan around here. You can see all of these books here. All of the books. And you can even see the mural on the wall. This is the children's room at the Satilla Library in Douglas. So if you have a chance over the break, while we're out of school, while the school is closed, and you get a chance and your parents have an opportunity to bring you to the library, you can check out books here. There's also a branch of the library in Nichols where you can go and you can check out books to read and enjoy reading during the break and fill in your brain with lots of extra knowledge so that when you come back to me, you'll be even more smarter than you were before you left. Love y'all. Bye.